Good day, independent thinkers. I'm going to talk about the Constitution for a minute. The short explanation. Many cultures do not have liberty. It is up to the men and women in the United States, or Americans, to keep that liberty here steadfast and to keep an eye on the public servants who have taken an oath to protect the Constitution from socialist, Marxist, and communist agendas. Do you think it might be a good idea for anyone applying for a congressional seat to take a test on how the Constitution works in this country? Do you think it is okay for a public servant to penalize someone without due process? Do you think it is okay for bureaucrat agencies to pass laws, which are company policies, without a vote from Congress? As a reminder to the bureaucrats and lobbyists, you are not Congress. As a reminder to the public servants of Congress, you are paid employees of the men and women taxpayers in this country. Please remember that. A short explanation of the Constitution is this. What is the government's protective duty? Protection against outsiders through foreign policy and armed forces. Protection against fellow citizens through the creation and enforcement of criminal laws. What are the three branches of government? Legislator, to make laws. Executive, to carry out arrests and prosecutions and punishments. Judiciary, to decide if the individual accused is guilty or not guilty. What is the conception of law enforcement? Equal protection, no matter who it is. Due process, to follow procedure. The state has to prove its case. One is innocent until proven guilty. The federal government deals with foreign policy. The state government deals with domestic policy. 90% of cases that come up in court are state cases. 10% of cases that come up in court are federal cases. What has happened in the transformation of government? All laws are not made in Congress. Regulatory agencies are making most of the laws, aka company policies, 80% of the time, enforce those policies and adjudicate disputes concerning those policies. Government is a separate interest now, and that is a problem. What has happened to helping the poor locally? Why should the federal state be involved in a sovereign state's business of education and or bailing out a state which has mismanaged its own funds? Why not the sovereign state take care of its own problems? What is with all the entitlement programs of today? Do not entitlement programs breed dependence, and who would be paying for that? The true genius of the Constitution was to separate the sovereignty from the power, and in keeping those two things separate, so they can check one another and keep an eye on one another. Moving to a bureaucratic structure creates other tyrants, which create health and economic tyrants. There are an estimate of 2 to 3 million federal employees, 20 million state employees. These employees can be tempted to abuse power. Be suspicious of concentrating power from any group. As always, take care and be aware to be clear of what you see and what you hear.